Black just played knight b6 and white plays queen h4 and slowly but surely prepares an attack on the black king. Black, sawing that, he plays queen e8 just to have another piece in the protection of the black king. The game continues with rook f3 with the idea to put this rook on h3 field and start attack on the black king as well. And now black decided to play knight c8 with the idea to move the knight on e7 and then place it on g6. And at this moment white finds a truly incredible move that puts black in a really difficult situation. The move is bishop a4. Right now this queen is attacked and this bishop is free for taking. Although this bishop is free for taking, the black cannot take this bishop, and black in game played rook d7. So black didn't play bishop d7 and he didn't took the white bishop. And I will show you why both of these moves weren't good at all. Welcome back, guys. This was just a short preview of the game you're going to watch right now. This game was played in 1953 between Mark Taimanov, who was playing with white, and Tigran Petrosian, who was playing with black pieces. Mark Taimanov was a chess grandmaster and a chess prodigy and a chess innovator as well. He invented 4 variations in 4 different openings: in Sicilian defense, in Nimzo-Indian defense, in Grunfeld defense, and in modern Benoni. And Petrosian was a chess grandmaster and a former world chess champion. Also want to make a special announcement, guys, for all of you who are enjoying my videos and who are watching my videos. I will be giving away $5. Please stay until the end of this video so you can find out how you can enter this competition. And now we will go straight into the game. So game started with d4 for Taimanov and knight f6 for Petrosian. The game continued with c4 for white and e6 for black. White continues his development with knight c3 and black replies with bishop b4. The idea is to pin this knight, obviously. White continues with e3 and black plays c5. So we are now in Nimzo-Indian defense. White continues the development of his pieces and he plays bishop d3 and black castles in this position. Game continues with knight f3 and black strikes in the center and plays d5. Game continues with castle for white and black plays knight c6. All of these were book moves. The game continued with a3 for white and black decided to take this knight. B takes on c3 and b6 was played for black, and if white takes, black can retake and still have the control of the center. So the game continues with c takes on d5, e takes on d5 and knight e5 was played for white. White wants to exchange his pieces, and if the black takes, this knight will be attacked. Black finds the best move in this position, which is queen c7, and the game continues with knight takes on c6, queen takes on c6, and white plays f3. The first idea is to obviously push this pawn on e4 and grab even more space in the center, and the other idea is to play queen e1 and then put the queen on this beautiful h4 square. So the game continued with bishop e6 for black, and white played queen e1 with the same idea of putting the queen on the h4 square. The game continued with knight d7 for black, and white played e4, which was the original idea as well, by playing f3, and black replied with c4. He doesn't want to exchange these pawns and he's attacking this white squared bishop. That is the reason white played bishop c2. The game continued with f5. Black wants to open the position, he wants to open the f file, and he wants to open this bishop as well. That is the reason white played e5. So white doesn't want to allow that, and that is the logic behind this move. The game continued with rook f7 with the later idea to put this rook on the f8 square and doubling the rooks. The game continued with a4 for white and black replied with a5. Game continued with f4, strengthening the center even more, and b5 was played for black. White doesn't want to allow this pawn to go on b4 and to create a dangerous passed pawns, and that is the reason why white trades here. A takes on b5, queen takes on b5, and bishop a3 was played for white. He wants to take the control of this free diagonal, which is obviously a good move. Black played knight b6, and now we are entering the position from the intro. So white played queen h4, preparing slowly but surely attack on the black king. Black replies with queen e8 with the idea to put even more pieces in the defense of the black king, because black now sees that situation is not going to be easy. White plays normal move rook f3. Idea is to put the rook on h3 square and then create an attack on the h7 square as well. Black now plays knight c8. The idea is to put this knight on e7 and then on g6. And now white finds an incredible move that puts black in a really difficult situation and cripples his position basically, and that is bishop a4. So as you can see, this bishop is free for taking, and the black queen cannot take it. I will show you now why this is not a good move. So first we will go what was played in the game. So in the game rook d7 was played, and this was actually the best move in this position. Bishop d7 was not good as well, and I will show you why. So let's see first, after bishop a4, if black queen decides to take this bishop, the game would continue with queen d8 check. And right now, whatever the black does, he cannot stop the checkmate. So first we will go, the shorter variation is rook f8, and then queen takes on f8 is a checkmate. And after queen d8 check, the black can play queen e8. Then the game would continue with queen takes on e8 check, rook f8, and queen takes on f8 is a checkmate. So after bishop a4, you probably saw that maybe black could have played bishop d7 here. So if the black played this, the game would continue with e6. Right now you are forking both of these pieces, and black must decide what he will give. He can either take this bishop or he can take this pawn. So the best move is queen takes on e6, and the game would continue with queen d8 check, again using the weak 8th rank of the black. Now black has to play queen e8, queen takes on e8, bishop takes on e8, and after bishop takes on e8, white has a winning position because he's a piece up, and there's nothing black can do and can save this game. So that is the reason why both of these moves weren't good, and rook d7 was played, which was the best in this position. So the game continued with rook b1 for white, taking the advantage of the free b file. And now queen d8 was played for black. Black wants to remove the queen from this pin, and he also wants to offer the queen for the trade. Of course, white doesn't want to do that. He wants to continue this attack, and that is the reason white plays bishop d7. He sacrifices this queen, and in the game queen d7 was played. So black decided that it's better for him to take this bishop than to take this queen. And I will show you why this was the best move actually. So after bishop d7, if black decided to play queen takes on h4, then the game would continue with bishop takes on e6 check, king h8, bishop takes on d5. Right now this rook is attacked, so black has to move it, rook a7. The game would continue with rook b8, again taking the advantage of the weak 8 file of the black. Black is forced to remove his queen on the 8 file. The game would continue with bishop e6, right now putting even more pressure on this knight. Rook c7 is practically forced, and the game would continue with d5. Black would probably reply with g6, and the game would continue with d6, right now attacking this rook and moving these pawns even closer to the 8th rank. Game would continue with queen e8, after which white would play bishop d5, and now black is practically forced to play this, which is knight takes on d6. Then the game would continue with rook takes on e8 check, knight takes on e8, and this is the end of this variation. Obviously white still has one passed pawn and he's a piece up, so this is a clearly won game for white, and that is the reason why Petrosian didn't want to take this queen. So after bishop d7, the game continued with queen takes on d7, and white played rook g3, taking the advantage of the open g file, and right now putting the pressure on the g7 square. Black replied with knight a7, opening up this rook on the 8 file, and white played bishop e7, cutting out this queen from protection of g7 and h7 squares. So the game continued with bishop f7 for black, and white continues with queen g5, right now creating a checkmate threat on g5 square. Black played bishop g6, blocking this threat, and white plays h4 with the idea to push h5 and take this piece, because if this field is not defended, this piece will fall. Right now black plays knight c6, he's attacking this bishop, and white is forced to remove this bishop back. He plays bishop a3. Right now black plays knight d8 with the idea to put this knight on e6 square and attack this queen. The game continued with h5. Black replies with knight e6. You cannot take this bishop obviously, because right now white queen is attacked. That is the reason why Taimanov plays queen h4, and the game continued with bishop f7 for black, and the game continued with h6 for white. Black obviously doesn't want to do anything with these pawns, and he plays g6. Right now game continues with queen f6, putting the queen on even better square, and right now this is a checkmate threat. The only piece that is defending is this knight here on e6. Game continued with queen d8. Right now black offers a queen trade, and obviously white doesn't want to do that, so he plays bishop e7, a really good move. He's forcing this queen to move away. Queen c7 was played, and right now we're in another critical part of this position, because right now white found an incredible move, an incredible sacrifice, which is rook g6 check. Right now black is forced to take this rook, and the game continued with h7 check. King takes on h7, the game continued with queen takes on f7 check, knight g7, and after king f2 black resigned because there is nothing he can do and stop a checkmate that is coming. So for example, after king f2, if the black king decided to go on h6, then the game would continue with rook h1 check. The only left move for black is knight h5, and the game would continue with bishop g5, a beautiful checkmate. After king f2, if the black king decides to go on h8, then the game would continue with rook h1 check. Again, black is forced to play knight h5, and the game would end with bishop f6 checkmate. Again, this knight cannot take this bishop because it is pinned by this rook. So this was just one of the variations here. I want to show you another variation. So after rook takes on g6, you probably saw that the black could have taken this rook with his bishop. So we will see what would happen if black played just that. So bishop takes on g6. In this case, the game would continue with queen takes on e6 check. And now if the black king goes on h8, then the game would continue with bishop f6 check. The only left move for black is queen g7, and white would checkmate with h takes on g7, a truly beautiful checkmate. And another variation, for example, after queen e6, if the black decides to play bishop f7, then the game would simply continue with queen f6, and the black is completely hopeless. He cannot stop the checkmate on g7 square. As you can see, he can even try a desperate move like queen takes on e5, then the game would simply continue with f takes on e5, and right now whatever the black does, there is nothing he can do and stop a checkmate. So he can play, for example, like a4, and then queen g7 is a checkmate. I also wanted to show you another option white had in winning this game. So after rook takes on g6 check, h takes on g6 was played, and right now white pushed h7 pawn, but white could have easily won by just playing king f2 in this position. There is nothing black can do and save this game. So for example, the king is now forced to go on h7, then the game would continue with queen takes on f7 check, king h8, bishop f6 check, knight g7, h takes on g7 check, king h7, and rook h1 is the checkmate. In this position, if black doesn't want to play king h7 and he plays something like a4, then the game would continue with h7 check, king is forced to take, we continue with queen takes on f7 check. If the king goes on h6, rook h1 is the checkmate. After queen f7, if knight goes on g7, then we continue with rook h1 again is the checkmate. And after queen f7, if the king goes on h8, again we have a checkmate on h1 square. So this was all for today's video, guys. If you enjoyed it, please leave a comment, like and subscribe, as this will mean a lot to me. I'm trying to grow my channel and this helps a lot. Also wanted to inform you that you can enter this competition for $5 by simply writing a comment on this video, and that's it. I will pick a random comment from this video and I will announce the winner in the next video, and you can contact me via my business email. I will write it in the description of this video and in the next one as well, and the winner will be announced in the next video. So this was all for today's video. Thank you so much, and we will see each other in the next one. Bye bye.